Our top story today, LeBron James will be taking his talents to Philadelphia to play for the 76ers in what he is calling the final decision of his illustrious career. And from the way that his newest teammates are reacting on social media, I would safe to say that they were a fan of his choice. Well, there's that from Tyrese Maxey, right? Clearly fired up. And then VJ Edgecombe, on the other hand, he's just smiling through it all. He can't believe that this is his life. I love it. So it's all happening right in Philadelphia right now. In this offseason, the 76ers, they became the first team in NBA history to add multiple former Finals MVPs. Jaylen Brown, of course, in 2024, and then LeBron on 4 different occasions with the Heat, the Cavaliers, and the Los Angeles Lakers. And Philly is likely to have a starting 5 where all 5 players average 15 or more for their careers. It's the 3rd time since the merger that this has happened. We're looking at KG, Pierce, and the Nets in 2013-14, and then the 76-77 Celtics. As for LeBron James, he's looking to become the first player in league history to win an NBA title with 4 different franchises. He's currently one of 4 players to win with 3, along with Robert Horry, John Salley, and our very own Danny Green. So let's get into the basketball of it all with Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst, and Monica McNutt joining me here in Chicago. And Monica, you just came from covering a champion that came out of the Eastern Conference in the New York Knicks. That is exactly why LeBron James said he wants to join the 76ers, but realistically, there's 4 different guys that this offense could run through. So what are the 76ers at their best, do you think?
Well, I still think, as excited as we are about LeBron James, y'all, Joel Embiid is a huge swing piece in this one. What does that look like? But the thing about LeBron James is he can play multiple positions on the floor. So if he is in that 4-position league and Joel Embiid is potentially healthy, you've got a threat in terms of scoring in the paint, you've got an outstanding facilitator, and you've got a high basketball IQ guy that will take the shots that are given off of this offense. Now you got to look at the rest of the offense, right? The speed of Edgecombe and Maxey already made this Philadelphia 76ers squad more dangerous than I think people were prepared for this past season.
Yep.
They're only going to take a step forward. And then you look at what Jaylen Brown has done in his previous role with his Celtics team that most people thought did not have the adequate amount of talent to compete in the East, and what he was able to do. So I think, to me, the elements of this team that make them most dangerous is that they will be able to both play fast and a powerful style of basketball given how healthy they can be. And we've seen LeBron James adapt to so many teammates at this point in his career. But I just think if he does play that 4, and he obviously can play multiple positions, he will be one of the most versatile 4s with the most dangerous supporting cast around him, I think, in the Eastern Conference.
That's very, very true. Brian, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I think what Monica said about high IQ is very important. High IQ players are something LeBron has always wanted to play with. And while Joel Embiid's health has often failed him, no one would ever say he's anything but a high IQ player. And I think they can figure out how to play together. And I cannot overemphasize enough the importance of the connection with Maxey. When you're going into a situation where there's not going to be clearly defined roles, and you're not going to be sure how it might work with Jaylen Brown, and you know, VJ Edgecombe's still finding his way in the league, the connection with the point guard is vital. These are 2 guys who have spent a lot of time together through Clutch Sports. LeBron was part of the recruitment process of him to Clutch Sports back when he was in high school and college. All of these things are major factors. The Maxey factor of this cannot be understated. And when I compare it to the Harden decision, it's not comparing Harden and Maxey as players, but the comfort level with Maxey is clearly deeper than the comfort level with Harden. And I honestly believe that was part of it. And so, do I know how this team is going to play today? No. Does Nick Nurse know how this team is going to play today? No. But are you going to bet on the connection between Maxey and LeBron? It's a reasonable thing to bet on.
I mean, let me just keep it real. The Philadelphia 76ers with LeBron James can win a championship this year with this roster, right? The one thing we talk about, high IQ guys, yeah, that's one thing, but LeBron James loves to play with a bunch of dogs. If you go and you check his history of the teams that he won a championship with, they had dogs. And this is what the Philadelphia 76ers, this is what they have. And when you look at LeBron over the past few years, think about this. He's been asked to do a lot of different roles, offensively and defensively. We saw him with the Lakers. He was asked in the playoff series to play the center position. And guess what? He actually did a damn good job doing it. And so when you think about the top dog, the defending champs, the New York Knicks, if they happen to get there and match up in a playoff series, LeBron James has no problem with going to call Anthony Towns. Matter of fact, you could go check the numbers and go look at, LeBron James and his matchup against Towns when he had to defend him, and he's done an outstanding job. So you think about Wade that came from Cleveland. Like, they have so many ways they could mix it up, and you're talking about Nick Nurse. Like, Nick Nurse know what it takes to put those guys in position to be successful. Yes, they are legit title contenders. Yes, they could win a championship this year.
Perk, listen, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about it myself as well. And the Towns and the Anunoby of it all, just let's go with the defending champs because they are the defending champs. Versus this Sixers squad, Malika, it is really interesting. And as much as the Knicks were sort of built to chase the former Boston Celtics, the way that they are constructed now puts them in a position where they could end up defending, like Perk said, a Philadelphia 76ers team that will be very formidable.
History says that LeBron James tends to win his titles in the second year when he joins a franchise, Brian. But when you look at the amount of time, he doesn't have that much time left. 2 years might be all that we're looking at in his career, and he wants to go and he wants to win now. Really, for me, this comes down to two words, two letters. H, health, E, egos, right? They have to be a healthy team and play, 30 games together in the regular season. Let's start with that, just that premise. Is that something that Philadelphia can do with all of the young guards that they have?
I think that's very insightful, Mike. The thing about the other times that he changed teams, that those teams had to hollow themselves out to open up the cap space to sign him. So this is not comparable. The 76ers not to hollow anything out. They've got a fully built roster. So the expectation, like Perk was saying, should be to win immediately. But I think it is definitely, look, Jaylen Brown did not select playing for the 76ers. He has expressed an interest in making this a really successful situation. He didn't pick it. So to me, one of the key things I'm interested now in is the Jaylen Brown fit. We may all be paying attention to how LeBron fits because he's one of the greatest players of all time. But to me, the work that the 76ers have to do now is with Jaylen Brown and explain to Jaylen Brown what his role is. Perk, don't give me that face like that. Fix your face, as you would say. This is the guy who was sixth place in MVP last year. This is the guy who carried his team. I think they got to worry about making Jaylen Brown comfortable right now more than anything.
But I think Jaylen Brown is at a space right now where he wants to make the Celtics look stupid. And by doing that is bringing a championship to Philadelphia. And I go back to Jaylen Brown. Yes, we saw him last year. Yes, we saw him showing the world that he actually could be a number one option. But then go back to his championship years, right? His championship year. He shared the floor with Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and he found a way and he sacrificed. And think about why he won Finals MVP that year. Him and Jason Tatum numbers were pretty similar in the finals. The separation part of it is that it's a reason that we call Jaylen Brown one of the better two-way players in the game because he's able to affect the game defensively. He had Luka looking crazy is why the Dallas Mavericks departed from him. So again, I'm not worried about Jaylen Brown buying in. Yeah. We're talking about a champion. We're talking about a guy that knows what it takes, and he wants to make his former team that just gave up on him look crazy. How do you do that? By sacrificing and bringing a championship to their rivalry in Philly.
Yeah, and I think, Wendy, this is maybe where word choice becomes a thing because you're right. This is a new situation for Jaylen Brown. But I think at this point in his career, right, to your point, you didn't have to hollow out this roster to get LeBron James. He, in my mind, and I could be wrong, how do I take what is here and get them over the top, right? And so I think if I'm the Sixers, I'm looking at the guys that potentially are going to be with me longer than 2 years. Like,